I know back to school shopping will have some of you all stressed about money, but here's the thing. On Sunday, August 24th, we're about to bless hundreds of families. My personal barber, Way Too Sharp Barbershop, and AO Enterprise, myself, are giving away free fresh haircuts for kids. I said it, free. Also, backpacks filled with school supplies. Free food provided by Flavor to Food Truck, bounce houses, live DJ, and so much more with the grand prize of laptops. Now, these are going to go fast. These are first come, first served. And so on Sunday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Way Too Shop Barbershop off of 7091 Berry Road in Accokeek, Maryland, I want you there. And I want to be real with you. Your kids deserve to walk into the classroom feeling like the kings and the queens they are. Don't let them start unprepared when we're literally handing out for free everything they need to get started. We want to help you. We want to be a blessing. So bring your kids, tell your friends and family, and let's show up as a community on August 24th. Let's have some fun. Let's get some fresh haircuts and start this school year off correct. I'll see you all August 24th at 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Check the show notes for the address again. God bless. Did you know that 62%, that's 6 out of 10 people who are already done working have no clue how long their money will last? I think about by how 2053 they're saying that people of color, African Americans, will have zero to negative net worth. We will be in the red. So many people who we know mutually who's made hundreds of thousands of dollars and even millions of dollars, but they're losing homes and they're turning in cars. And it's because, man, they got the money, but they didn't know how to plan and use and steward that money correctly. Fear keeps you broke. Knowledge makes you wealthy. If you have $10,000 in a savings account right now, after 1 year of 8% inflation, that money can only buy what $9,200 could buy last year. You see, every raise becomes a reason to spend more instead of invest more. I don't want my kids to start in the red and have to hustle as bad as me. No, I want them to start in the black. What's going on, family? Welcome back to The Table with your boy, Anthony ONeal. And man, listen, I have an article here and we're going to be real about this article. This is going to be a conversation that I believe today is important for all of us in our future. Because while I was reading this, I read something that literally made my stomach turn. And with me on this new diet, drinking my greens, my stomach has not turned in a very long time. Did you know that 62%, that's 6 out of 10 people who are already done working have no clue how long their money will last? But here's what's really got me about this particular article, and it got me fired up. This isn't just about people who stopped working. This is about generational wealth being destroyed within our community right now. Today at the table, we're going to be breaking down the 7 wealth destroyers that are breaking families, and even specifically Black families, and keeping us broke. I guarantee you, and I want to say this one more time, I guarantee you, you're doing at least 3 of these right now. So please don't get mad at me when I call these out. I'm not specifically calling you out. I'm specifically calling out the things that is preventing us from building wealth and having the life that we desire in the future, and being able to leave our loved ones with something. Because don't forget, a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. I think that we sometimes skip over children's children. So not just to your kids, but to your kids' kids. So I want to start off today by saying, I love you. I genuinely love you, and thank you for being a part of this amazing community that we recently changed the name from E3 to In the Black. Because today, I want to be honest, and I want to be 100 with my community. Can I be real with you for just a quick second before we really dive in? The preacher comes out of me sometimes, but this is about your future. This is about your legacy. So I need you to lock in because we are about to have a deep dive. I came across this study from CNBC, and the numbers are absolutely insane. A whopping 62% of retired Americans, individuals who do not currently work, have no clue how long their nest egg will last. So how long their 401ks will last, their savings account, any kind of money that they had set aside. And many people are blaming the rising cost and inflation. 92% from this same article are worried about inflation eating their savings, eating their investments. But they don't know what to do about it. You see, when I see these numbers come across my desk as I'm studying, I think about our community. I think about the wealth gap. I think about by how 2053 they're saying that people of color, African Americans, will have zero to negative net worth. We will be in the red, which is why I renamed the community to we are now in the Black community. To where if you're in the red right now, as long as you join this community by subscribing, whether you listen to podcasts or the audio, every single show is about getting you into the Black. I think about how we've been set up to fail financially for generations. And I get mad. Not mad at you, but I get mad at the system that never taught us this stuff. Why in the world did we not get taught this information inside of high schools? A lot of us have degrees within this community. Why did we not have a financial 101 literacy course inside of college? Shameless plug. Much love to my alma mater, my HBCU school, the Virginia Union State University, that has hired me as a professor to come in and teach consumer economics and financial 101 to their freshmen and to their sophomores. Because let me tell you something. Your grandmother didn't teach you about inflation. Your mother and your father probably couldn't teach you how to protect your money because they didn't know how, because their parents didn't teach you. Your dad didn't explain about asset allocation because no one taught him. Your grandpa couldn't teach you. What? Let's go even deeper. Your school teachers. Your school teachers couldn't teach you how to invest because they were living paycheck to paycheck because they was trying to teach us, our nappy heads and bad behinds. But today, but right now in 2025, the cycle has to stop with you and I, right here, right now at this table. And here's what I need you to do. I need you to pause this video right now and ask yourself this question. Hit pause. Do you know how long your money will last? I want you to pause right now. I don't care if you're 22, I don't care if you're 18, I don't care if you're 35, 40, and you're 10, 15 years from the season of, because I don't call it retirement, I call it the season of where you don't have to work anymore. But if you, with what you're doing right now, whatever age you're at right now, by the time you get to 65 years old, which is quote unquote the year of quote unquote retirement, will you have money that will last you for the rest of your life? Do you have an investment portfolio? Do you have a strategy? Pause and answer that question. If you couldn't answer that question within 30 seconds, I'm sorry, my brothers and my sisters. You're part of the 62%. And that is a problem. For today and today only, that is okay. Because I'm about to give you some resources, some tools, and some information to help you fix this. All right, fam, let me keep it real with you for a quick minute here. Most career change programs, they promise you the world, then they leave you hanging. But this QA boot camp I'm about to tell you about, I'm gonna be real with you up front. It's going to take about 20 weeks of hard work, studying after your day job, pushing through when you want to quit. But this is the fastest, most legit path I found to go from whatever you're making now to $85,000 plus working from home in tech. 100% no coding required. See, Careerist has over 1,300 graduates now working for companies like Google, Apple, Amazon, and even Disney. Their program is ranked #1 by Course Report. And here's what I love. They don't just train you and leave you. They coach you until you actually get a job. You see, one of my friends, Mike, went from working 90 hours a week, making $63,000 a year, to making $98,000 plus in commission working from home. Sarah, single mom, went from retail to $95,000 a year as a QA supervisor. These are not special people. They just made a decision to stick to it for 20 weeks, and it changed their life. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics projects that there will be a 25% growth in QA jobs by 2032. And companies are in desperate need of QA professionals because when their system goes down, they lose millions. So if you're tired of being underpaid and you want a recession-proof career that lets you work from anywhere, not just home, but even on the beach, do not wait. Every day you delay is another day someone else is getting the training you need. I want you to visit anthonyoneal.com/QA. Again, that is anthonyoneal.com/QA to sign up today. It's going to change your life. I promise you. Let me break down something that's going to blow your mind. This study found that 45% of people say their expenses are higher than they expected. That means they failed to plan properly. And I want to say this cannot be you. You see, my father growing up, when I was, I think I was 12, my sister Yvette Henry was, I want to say 8 or 9, and my brother John Gibbons, who's go by John Gibbs, was probably right around 5, right? And my dad woke us up, not even exaggerating, at 1 o'clock in the morning, came into the bedroom, woke us up, took us out to his garage, and in his garage, that's where his office was. And he spent so much time out there when he got off of work. And he said, man, what does this say? And I'm sitting there reading it, and I said, proper prior planning prevents poor performances. And Yvette said, yeah, what he said. And my brother said, yeah, what Anthony said. And it didn't make any sense to me. It didn't make any sense to me at that time that proper prior planning prevents poor performances. As a matter of fact, if you're watching this live, type that in the chat. So if we fail to plan, then we plan to fail. And right now, a lot of us, man, I think a lot of us are making decent money. And I was talking with one of my good friends, Courtney, who's the host of Investing Uncomplicated, who is a regular guest on the show monthly, and we talk about investing. And we were just talking about how there are so many people who we know mutually who's made hundreds of thousands of dollars and even millions of dollars, but they're losing homes and they're turning in cars. And it's because, man, they got the money, but they didn't know how to plan and use and steward that money correctly. So today, what I want to do is I want to give you 7 things that are destroying our family's wealth. And listen, I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing. I'm going to keep it 100. And remember what I said from the very beginning of the show. I love you. I love you. I've never probably seen about 90% of you all. But I want you to know that today I love you. But today is going to be straight at it. Because I guarantee you, everyone is doing at least 3 of these things. And what I want to challenge you today is if when you identify that, write down the 3 things that you're going to be working on for the next 12 months. Because I don't expect you to have this fixed within 1 month, within 2 months. It's going to take some time. Here's destroyer number 1. Let's get into it. I teach about this all the time, but living without a written plan. You see, 71% of people in this study don't know the optimal way to spend their money. Let me say that one more again. 71% don't have a clue on how to manage their money properly. And here's the thing. You can't hit a target that you can't see. Because if you aim at nothing, you're going to hit that all the time. I'm going to say it one more time so you can get it. If you aim at nothing, that means you're just throwing an arrow out there and you're letting it hit wherever. But there's no strategy. There's no written plan. There's no target. If you don't have a written budget, if you don't have a written financial plan, and let me go deeper. If you don't have a written vision for your life, for you and your spouse's life, and for you and your family's life, you're hoping and praying, and hope and prayer alone is not a strategy, family. I'm going to say that one more time. Hope and prayer alone is not going to hit the target. Now, I know I got a lot of Christians who rock with me because I'm a Christian. But sometimes we think all we can do is just pray. No. Faith without works is what? Dead. So yes, while I want you praying over everything and anything that God puts on your heart, when you get up off your knees, hopefully you prayed and asked God for a strategy and a system that you can put on paper and follow it, so now you can put in the work to make it happen. Because here's the truth. If you have $30,000 or $300,000, if you don't have a plan for your money has a plan for you. And what's that plan, AO? To disappear. To disappear. So this means you have to have a budget. This means that you need to sit down and write the plan. Write the strategy. How much money am I going to make this year? How much money do I want to save this year? Okay, cost of living is going up. Food is going up. Is going up. Okay, cool, great. How do I make sure that my life is on paper and I'm following the strategy? This is why I put together our budgeting tool. And we're going to put that inside of today's show notes. It's $9. It is $9. And we literally are helping you budget monthly, quarterly, yearly, and budget for your future. Because see, when you're budgeting, you're setting aside money and you're investing money and you see your money growing. Let me keep going. So we're going to put our budgeting tool in the show notes. You need to get a copy of that. Here's destroyer number 2. Ignoring healthcare costs. Oh my gosh. 86% underestimate how much healthcare is going to cost them when they get older. Man, this one hits close to home because I've seen families go from wealthy to broke because of one medical emergency. Our show producer, one of them, Edward, was coming in and man, the last 60 days, I would say about 60 days, 60 to 90 days, going on 90 days by the time you all see this video. I've really been on a health kick. And there's 3 things I've really been focusing on. My health first, education next, and then wealth. Because I've noticed that, man, I can have all this money, but if I'm not healthy, I can't live to enjoy it. If I'm not healthy, I can't be an amazing husband for my wife. If I'm not healthy, if I'm blessed to have kids, I can't be a healthy father for my kids. If I'm not healthy, I can't run this business and do all these shows and do the things God has called me to do. So I started focusing on my health because I know when I turn 60, I was reading a study, the health issues that we have in our 60s, that we have in our 70s, is because of what we did in our 20s, 30s, and 40s. And so with me being 41, I said, yo, I got to start eating better. Yo, this stomach, bro, all of our issues when we get 60, when we get 70, for black men starts in our guts. I don't have a gut no more. And as a matter of fact, we are going to be releasing a show sometime in the beginning of September 7th to show you all the transformation and exactly how I did it on a budget and how you could do it on a budget. Because here's the truth, and this is what Edward said, your health is your wealth. So you better plan for both. The average person in America is going to spend a little bit over $300,000 on healthcare their lifetime. Where is that money coming from? Is it coming from your savings? I got it. Or are you robbing from your kids' inheritance? This goes back to having a plan. Goes back to having a strategy. What happens to your family if something happened to you? I'm gonna ask that again. What happens to your family when something happens to you? You see, life insurance feels scary, it feels complicated, and even expensive. But here's the thing, it doesn't have to be anymore. Most of us are walking around with no life insurance policy, but we have a name brand item. Thinking, I'm young, I'm healthy, I got time. Family, I want to be honest with you, I'm so sorry. That's not faith, that is pure foolishness. Here's what I love about my friends over at Ethos. They've made getting term life insurance 100% simple. No medical exams, no waiting weeks for approval. You can get a quote online in literally 10 minutes like myself and get approved the exact same day. We're talking coverage from $100,000 up to $2 million with absolutely no blood work for way less than what you actually think. Term life insurance is pure protection at a fraction of the cost of whole life insurance. Look, a healthy 30-year-old can get a $500,000 policy for about $25 a month. That's less than your Netflix and Spotify combined. Listen, your family deserves to be protected. Don't leave them struggling to pay bills and funeral costs because you kept putting this off while you're in heaven smiling. Your family's down here stressed because of your poor decisions. Listen, stop playing games with your family's future. Get your free quote today in 10 minutes by going to anthonyoneal.com/ethos. Again, go to anthonyoneal.com/ethos. And I promise you, you will feel way better and sleep better at night. All right, let's get back to today's show. Here's the story number 3. Fear of the stock market. You see, 80%, make sure I got this right. Yeah, that's right. 80% of people are scared of the market downturns. Listen, I totally get it. I totally get it. Nobody wants to lose money. Okay, I get it. But here's what I need you to understand. Fear keeps you broke. Knowledge makes you wealthy. Fear keeps you broke. And fear actually intentionally makes you lose money. What do you mean, Anthony? Well, if you fear investing into the stock market, well, with inflation going up, if you have $100 inside your savings account today, for an example, and inflation goes up, now that means that your $100 tomorrow is only worth $90. So you lost $10 because of your fear. But if you have the right knowledge, you will put that $100 inside of a mutual fund. You'll put that $100 inside of a high yield savings account. You'll put that money somewhere to where it will get, if you do the stock market, we've seen on average, we're seeing in between 8 to 10, sometimes even 12% of an average over the last 40 years in the S&P 500. So now your $100 can go from anywhere from $108 to $112 for just sitting there. Now it's hanging with inflation. You see, while you're sitting on the sidelines being scared, inflation is eating your cash like termites eat your wood. You can't see it happening, but it's destroying your purchasing power every single day. This is why I support and I endorse Moo. Because if you open up a Moo account today before the end of this month, right? And you open it up with a minimum of $100, they are going to give you free NVIDIA stock of up to like $20 or up to $1,000 on top of the money that you've already put on top of it. So if you put, let's say for example, you open an account today with $150 and you buy some stock. Well, as long as you keep that account open for 30 days, they're going to give you some NVIDIA stock. That's free money. Go to anthonyoneal.com/moo to check them out right now. Listen to me, y'all. Listen to me. Don't let number 3 be the thing that's destroying you. I need you to put away $100 a month and start investing. Opening up that Moo account today Go subscribe to Investing Uncomplicated from my boy Courtney, who has an MBA in finance. He is focusing on helping everyday average people like yourself become everyday investors. Here's the story number 4, the inflation ignorance. Here it is. Here it is. Number 4. This is the one that 62% don't even know about. While you're keeping your money in a savings account earning 0.5%, inflation is stealing 8% of your purchasing power every single year. Let me break this down for you. If you have $10,000 in a savings account right now, after 1 year of 8% inflation, that money can only buy what $9,200 could buy last year. You just lost $800 of purchasing power and you didn't even know it. This is why 92% of people are worried about inflation, but don't know how to protect themselves. They're watching their wealth disappear in real time. So, this is why I encourage you to open up a high yield savings account. Because if you open up a high yield savings account, with SoFi, for an example, and if you open up the Plus account, they're going to give you a 4.5% interest rate plus a $300 bonus for just opening up an account. How do you get your $300 bonus? Let me tell you real quick. All right. What you're going to do is you're going to open up a checking and savings account. You're going to automatically deposit a little bit of your money inside the checking account that you want to save and go towards your high yield savings for your emergency fund. Because you did that, you opened up an account, you funded it, and you gave them some form of a direct deposit. Now you got a free $300 and 4.5% on your money. Don't be a part of the 92% who are worried about inflation because you're allowing your money to follow inflation, to beat inflation, technically. Here's the story number 5, no emergency fund. No emergency fund strategy. 70% of people fear outliving their money. You know why? Because they never built a proper emergency fund. So every crisis becomes a financial disaster. An emergency fund isn't just for emergencies. It's for opportunities as well. When the market crashes and everyone's selling, you want to be the one buying. But you can't do that if you're living paycheck to paycheck like the majority of Americans. I suggest, within inside my escape plan, my money plan for you all, is to put away at least a minimum of 3 to 6 months of your average net pay for emergencies. And then you put anything extra on top of that to buy stocks, to buy investments, to help build your wealth. Because remember, our number one wealth building tool is margin. Margin is, this is how much money I make. This is how much money I have going out. What's in between? What's in between is the margin. That margin is what we can invest. That margin is what we can enjoy. Which leads me to destroyer number 6, which is lifestyle inflation. Because 9 times out of 10, what's destroying our margin is lifestyle inflation. Because every time you get a raise, what do? You upgrade your lifestyle. If this is your income and if this are your expenses, right? And let's say your income goes up, so does your expenses. You upgrade your lifestyle. You get a bigger car, you get a bigger house, more expensive clothes, and oh, now all of a sudden you deserve Gucci, Louis, Prada. You get a new purse. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna upgrade from a Louis Vuitton purse to a Chanel purse. You see, every raise becomes a reason to spend more instead of invest more. And I see people making 6 figures who are broken to people actually making $50,000 a year. You know why? Because they never learned to live below their means and invest the difference. They have this YOLO philosophy. You only live once, so I'm going to enjoy it. And to me, I've been there. And if that's you today, that's a bunch of bull crap. Because how many times have you pulled into a McDonald's? How many times have you ordered an Uber and it's a 67-year-old individual who can barely even really, get around, but they're driving you? It's not because they want to. It's not because they're trying to pass time. It's because they need the money. And do you really want that to be you? Which leads me to the last destroyer. Number 7. No legacy mindset. This one is the big one, fam. You're not just building wealth for you. You're building it for generations. But most people are thinking about what they can spend, not what they can build and leave that behind. When I make financial decisions, I think about my kids' kids. When I make financial decisions, I think about my nephews and my niece. When I make financial decisions, I think about my team members. When I think about financial decisions, I think about my church and the community. How can I build this, enjoy the desires of my heart, but then also position my family and the people who I love to be blessed if something was to happen to me? I think about breaking generational curses and building generational wealth. I think about my kids. I saw this viral video is going viral right now and everyone's laughing at it. But I thought it was actually a dope concept. And he was bragging. Someone said, how did you get here? He said, oh man, I got here because my grandpa left me a house. I got here because my grandpa, gave me $1 million. I ain't got to work my butt off like that. I just got to sustain and just build on top of the $1 million. So I take his $1 million and I just flip it and I make $5 million. But I ain't have to go out here and work at McDonald's. I'm just blessed like that. And while people were laughing at it, I say, yo, why y'all laughing at it? It's actually brilliant. I don't want my kids to start in the red and have to hustle as bad as me. No, I want them to start in the black. Take my millions, skip over McDonald's, skip over driving for Uber, and take my millions and flip it and multiply it, because while they were growing up, I was giving them education. They worked with me. They worked for the company. But when they got done with learning it, they didn't have to go out there and work like a Hebrew slave. That changes everything about how I handle money. So real quick, I want to give you the solution. We identified the problem with the 7 things. Now I want to give you the solution, and I call this, I have an acronym for it, A.O.N. This will come up on the screen. I call this a wealth protection plan. Let's get into it real quick. A stands for assess your current position. You see, first you need to know where you are. Calculate your actual monthly expenses. Not what you think they are. No, what they actually are. And we do this inside of my budgeting tool. We want you to open up your credit card statements, your bank statements, your debit card statements, anything that you have. And we want you to write down exactly, hey, I'm paying $52.32 for this. I'm paying $519.51 for this. I got Netflix at $19.99. We want you to identify exactly what's your cost and then determine your real net worth and project how long your money will last. Most people are living in the financial fantasy land, right? They think they spend less than they do, to only realize that, no, you're actually spending more and it's killing you. So I want you to get real with your numbers today, because if we don't get real with our numbers today, we can't change and address where we are tomorrow. Which leads me to O, optimize your defense strategy. Now, you need to protect what you have. Look into look into anything, right? I want you to sit down and figure out, how can I protect what I have? How can I? I can protect it by investing. I can protect it by putting it into a health savings account. I can protect it by diversifying my investments. Stop putting all your money in one place, hoping for the best. No, spread it out. Spread it out. Which leads me to the end, which is navigated with purpose. Create your family wealth mission statement. What are you building this wealth for? Don't just say, man, I want a big house. Don't just say I want a big car. No, what and why? Why are you working 2 jobs? Why are you eliminating your debt? Don't just say because I want to be debt free. I'm tired of paying bills. No, what's the why? And build the system, not just savings. And while you're building the system, teach your children what you're building and why you're building it. And also, watch this, teach them what you're learning. Rachel Cruz says something that's very, very well known, and I love how she said, yo, listen, remember with children, more is caught than taught. Think about it. Kids can watch TV, don't even know what the TV is saying. They don't understand it, but they're catching the dance move. So without being taught how to dance, they're catching and watching the dance moves, they can start dancing. So if they see you doing something, they'll catch it. Here's the thing. Stop thinking about when you have to stop working and start thinking about financial independence. It's a big difference. One is when you have to stop because of medical reasons. The other is when you get to stop. As I'm coming to the end of today's episode, I want to ask you some hard questions. I need you to be honest with yourself. How many of you are worried about your credit score than your net worth? How many of you are so focused on getting that credit score to an 800 that you skip over, man, how do I build my net worth? Don't get it twisted. I believe that a credit score in today's day and time is important, but your net worth is what actually matters, because that is what's going to bring freedom. That is what you can pass down. How many are spending more? How many of you are spending more on your car payment than you are in your investment account? You see, your car is going down in value every day, but your investment portfolio invested correctly could be going up every day. Here's another hard question that I just gotta ask. How many of you are teaching your kids about money beyond money doesn't grow on trees? I don't get why parents teach that. What? That's not financial education. That's just complaining. No. How many are honestly sitting down and teaching your kids something about money? Why are you reduplicating what your parents did? No. Have the conversation. The article says that 45% of people have higher expenses than expected. That means they failed to plan properly. Y'all, the urgency is right now. Not tomorrow, not next week, it's right now. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. I was just talking to my landscaper. I said, yo, when is the next best time to plant the tree? He's a Mexican, and he looked at me, he said, today. Go plant that tree, y'all. Go plant your financial tree. And watch it grow, watch it blossom. And I promise you, I'm gonna be on this journey with you. We're gonna be on this thing together. And we're gonna see our financial trees just grow and produce fruit. It's your boy, Anthony ONeal. I love you. God bless you. I'll see you in the next show. Peace out.